Start streaming. Start streaming. There we go. Why is it so fucking stupid when it comes to this stuff sometimes? Yep, here we go. So, so we have the page issue. Like, what's the lifetime for this? The life cycle. So we get a page issue. It's created by somebody. And, like, okay, so the page issue is like get. What was I gonna look at? Yeah, this one. This is actually kind of critical because we need to do better than Wikipedia for this. So an issue has like a list of people supporting it. I'm gonna draw this out for a second. Um, yeah. Okay, so this is interesting. So we need to have a list of people supporting it and also against it. So this system has to change at some point. Like it's not going to be feasible forever and ever, but we still got to do something to start off with. And when we decide we need something better, we'll decide that we need something better. So it's like we have some issue, right? There's some like text up here. Well, issue. And then there's some like block of text that describes the issue. Blah 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 blah. And you can either support the issue or down the issue. Every time an issue manipulation. Then there's like a list of edits here, a list of comments. Somebody saying this, somebody saying that, somebody saying this, that, the other thing. And then you'll have another block where it's like, okay, here's the new issue. And maybe you'll have some discussion, stuff in there. And maybe there's a resolution here. So I think that by default, there's like an exponential decay for your weightings with a bias towards, well, here's the thing, like how do we, is Kick not working? How do we make it so that if we do this and we get this set up, so issues determine the BS meter, right? So they determine the BS meter that we have here. But let's say a lot of people don't support an issue, right? Well, hold up. What if we have it so that we have a trust? We have two different things. We have trust. No, what if we call it a distrust? And that's exclusively weighted by the upvoting of the issues. So that's all it's weighted for. So that's all that counts towards distrust. This downvote here only makes it less likely. Yeah, this makes sense to me. So if you are upvoting an issue or you're supporting an issue, there's got to be some better term other than like support or upvote. You increase the distrust on a page, which makes sense. It's like you don't trust this, you think this is an issue, you think this is full of shit because there's something wrong inside of here. So that makes sense to me. But let's say you have a bunch of these. Like, I feel like, how do we take these into account? Because it's like, I feel like there's a distinction here. Like, if we take both of these into account, then it's less of a distrust meter, it's something else. Um, so, God, how do we want to think about that? How do we want to think about that? So instead of it being a BS meter, it's a distrust meter. How much do people not trust the page? And we'll like, I don't know, maybe we'll normalize it or something. this downvote here. So, okay, what's the mechanism we're thinking about here for it? So at some point, this list right here is a PER, right? Is this a PER? So how do we figure out if the PER is allowed to be submitted or not? So it's like this right here, these go down over time. So you can have an infinite amount of issues. This is the only way a PER can be submitted is that like you have to probably have like it's like a 2 to 1. It's like a 2 to 1 ratio of like people who are concerned versus people who aren't. Maybe. Maybe we can have this dynamic, of course, if we wanted it to. Hmm. Oh, it's nice it's blocked out like this. These colors look the same to me though. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. So let's say there is a so the issue gets I think this is coming together now. The issue gets created. There is a what if there's duplicate issues? Well, there's duplicate issues. People will eventually those be like a merge conflict. The PER won't be able to be modified. So there's like big issues, right? Should we have inside of here multiple PERs for an issue? Multiple PERs. What if we have sub issues? Oh, I kind of like that idea. So, oh, sub issues make things complicated though. But like, let's say there's like three. Let's say you want to say something like this page is biased towards conservatives, right? Or let's say you want to say this page is like too mean. Well, there's a general issue where it's like this page has a bunch of physics cranks in it or something like that. Not supported. You could have it be the case where you have issues. I think you can have one level of sub issue. That's it. And but then the sub issues like split up the voting. I really like the idea of like I could see it being the case that an issue takes like weeks to resolve, but in the process of resolving all of those, um, in the process of resolving the big issue, you need to go through a series of smaller edits. It's like you have this, 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 you have this. And then over time, they kind of clear themselves out. But then the question is, it's like, how do we determine if the the edits and the sub issues are like they actually solve the distrust. We could have it something where you could have a one edit here, or maybe you have like, so let's imagine that this is like a sub issue actually, instead of it being a modified version of the issue. Like maybe the issue does change and it's like listed as like an edit down here. Maybe it's not. But let's say that this right now, just for our purposes, is a sub issue. You get one PER with a sub issue. And the AI generation stuff comes in. Because we do want it to be the case at some point in the future that the website um, my tablet. Wow. We do want the like we want it to be the case that like over time large language models can um, update pages dynamically. Like let's say there's a new research paper out, like I want it to be automatic. Like some discovery in biochemistry, I want whatever pages that are relevant in biochemistry to be automatically updated. So it could be the case that, how do we do the auto searching though? Because then we need user input. Gosh. Well, it's more like anytime there's new anytime that there's like a new, I don't know, fucking New York Times article that exists, it's kind of like we have a stream of articles. It's like we have all these sources of information that get generated over time. Like we have like some version, it's not exactly a web crawler, but it's a web crawler. It's like some variant on a web crawler that is able to update the pages based on new information. I guess we could have large language models do this system, but with like a lower weighting. So I was like, there's a new article out. The issue is there's a new biochemistry article about, and it's about some particular phenomenon. The issue is this page up to date with this article? Yes or no? And so we have like sources inside of like a sources DB, which would be fucking well. Every fucking DB here is gonna be fucking enormous. Um, what if each time we get a source, we create a new page for it? Mm, I don't know. So if every single time that we create a new page, we create a new source, that's a little bit of a problem. Actually, maybe it's not. Because then we have a lot of interlinking. So I feel like issues and edit requests related to issues are definitely a thing. Do we have sub issues that can be pushed forward for an issue itself? No. I see. Yeah, no. We don't have sub issues. That makes sense to me. Uh, because if you have a different problem, like let's say there's a big problem, like this page is biased towards this, that, or the other thing. Somebody leaves a comment here and they say, "Oh, I've created a task that's related, that's linked to this one." So, um, it's like, okay, well, there's this thing that wasn't taken into account, and you just link it. Okay, I see. But then a person, what if they only get one vote on a page at a time? Oh, that's an interesting idea. Oh, I think I like that. Oh, I think that's an interesting idea. So we have a bunch of issues. People get a limited number of votes. And if oh, that makes it so much better than that decay. Because we'll just say, hey, your vote on this issue changed. Like by default, every week or something, your vote gets like removed from a page. Because we do, in some sense, need to force people to pay attention. Well, not force them to pay attention. Like, if you care, we don't want it to be the dangling case where someone just votes on something and they forget about it for 6 months. It's like if you do that, then you didn't actually care, and it wasn't actually something that was important to you. It's like if you care a lot about this, then you need to pay attention, and you need to. Maybe that's the wrong way to think about it. And there's the question of fucking automation. We could automate the PERs, maybe? No, I want people to be able to write them themselves if they want. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's 9 o'clock. I have to go. I need to sit on this.